article published on CNN, if data plans stay the same 4 years down the road, the average user's smartphone bill could grow by $43 a month to $119. Who would want to pay that much just to have a data plans on their phones? No one. Through the years, internet has been a huge part of most people's lives because this has been one of the greatest inventions that is used in today's society. Everyone in this room knows what internet is or what it does. Who would love the idea of having a public Wi-Fi in the city of LA? Of course, everyone. As someone who pays extra to have unlimited data on my phone, it's very frustrating when you wait for something to buffer for a very long time. For example, I hate the feeling when you just sit there and stare at your phone to wait for a video or a picture to load, whether it's on my Facebook, Instagram, etc. I love the idea of having a free internet access in the city of LA. Having a free public Wi-Fi in the city of LA would benefit a lot of people, and it would really be helpful to all the people in our community. First, I will talk about the problems of not having internet access. Second, talk about the causes of why the government hasn't implemented this action yet. And finally, talk about the solutions that would solve the problem. So now let's talk about the problems of not having internet access. In this generation, majority of people know what the advantages of having internet on their phones are and couldn't possibly live without it. Having to pay for something that is highly priced is nerve-wracking. According to the website Fears Wireless, published on 2013, the survey found that 23% of smartphone owners have canceled or suspended their cell phone service because the cost was too expensive. Further, 44% of those surveyed whose annual income falls below $30,000 have discontinued their service at some point. With this information, we can tell that paying so much for a data plan can actually affect all of us. It's not something that everyone can afford. The people who don't have internet access are losing majority of the services that are being offered to everyone. According to Craig, in a 2012 article published on Daily Mail UK, it showed that the internet has opened up far more opportunities for young people to do their learning at home. Being able to connect to the internet has become a necessity in our digitally connected world. We use the internet from the simplest tasks, such as looking at the bus schedules, getting the news, checking the weather, to more serious tasks of banking, researching, navigation, and security. In short, internet connectivity has become a powerful social-economic equalizer that enables its users to become more efficient and productive regardless of their place in society. Now that I've talked about the problems of not having internet access, let's move on to the causes of why the government hasn't done anything about this. If we want something, we all know that we have to pay for it, because nowadays there's no such thing as free anymore. There are lots of reasons why the government hasn't done anything about this yet. First, setting up a city Wi-Fi is very costly, which means the government would have to spend more. Second, it will increase people's taxes because we can't expect the government to pay for everything and not get something in return. Lastly, the lack of security is a concern because it would be easier for the hackers to hack someone who's connected to the public Wi-Fi. According to Clark, in a 2013 article published on USA Today, the chances of you being hacked far exceeds the chances of your home being burglarized. This is a big business, which means that being hacked while you're connected to a public Wi-Fi has a higher chance of happening over and over again than a house being robbed. Now that I've talked about the causes of why the government hasn't put this into action yet, let us now move on to the solutions that would solve the problem. Every problem has its solution. If we try our best to find the answers to all the causes that I previously mentioned, then it wouldn't be impossible for the government to agree with the people in putting this into action. According to Kendall, an analyst at Strategy Analytics in London, having a public Wi-Fi is a good cost-effective way of expanding the options and capacity for mobile data services. The government must take the initiative to implement free public Wi-Fi on the whole of Los Angeles, making it accessible for anyone regardless of their socioeconomic class. To minimize the cost of such a project, the government can work in partnership with the private sector in exchange for ad placement. In this way, the government would have to spend less since this will generate income to subsidize the cost of public Wi-Fi. In order for this whole idea to happen, each of us can do something about it. For example, why can't we initiate a signature drive petitioning the government to implement a free public Wi-Fi in the city of LA? Additionally, we can talk to business establishments in our local area and convince them to set up a free public Wi-Fi to all their customers. There are businesses that